Welcome to Scorched Earth. This is going to be a general reading for the sign of Aries, Sun, Moon and Ascendant for the month of June. Hope you're all well. If you don't know what your Moon or Ascendant signs are, have a look in the description box below. There's a link down there that will help you. And speaking of the description box, there's loads and loads of information in there. So, if there's anything that you want to know from the decks that I use to how to get in touch with me, all that information's down there. Social media links, they're all in there. I'm on Facebook and Instagram, and I am recently returned to Twitter after a 5-year hiatus. So if that's your bag, come and find me over there and we can have chats. I think Twitter's better set up for just chatting than the other pages. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I think it is anyway. The link to donate to the channel is also down there, helps keep the lights on and all that kind of jazz. If you want to do a one-off, there's a PayPal link, but I have just launched my Patreon, so if you see some value in what it is that I present here and you want to support me on a longer term basis, the Patreon's there, and it's like £3 a month or something. You can pick whatever you like, but it starts at £3 a month, so, and I would love you to move back. What else do I need to tell you? Oh, I've had a lot of people wanting to send me things in the post. So I set up a post office box. That's down there as well. And obviously an email and that kind of thing. So, do with that information what you will. If you want an extended, the link will be down there in the description box as well. Because there'll be one at the end you can go to. And I'm trying something new this month, which is a shadow read, so collective shadow reads, because I think it's something that's really valuable. And actually, I do think that all the signs are born with a collective shadow, even if it's just the way that we deal with life, its particular obstacles and challenges, and it's something that we need to work through. It's really important to me. It's a bit rough and ready, like the format, but if it's something that you think you can get something from, then I'm happy to expand it. I've got a lot of decks that lend themselves very nicely to shadow work, as well as the main oracle deck that I'm using, so in future I can come up with something a little more comprehensive if that is your bag. I'm doing a live stream tonight. Hopefully I will get this video uploaded before the live stream starts. That's 7:30 and today is the 30th of May, Saturday. So if you're watching this in the future, I'm sorry that I didn't get this video to you in time. Anyway, I think that's everything I have to tell you, so let's get some cards for you and see what's going on. I have 3 cards for Aries, please. Cards for Aries for June. Right, I've got King of Cups. That's the first card, that's in your recent past. Some more cards for Aries, please. Taking all of those on the bid. Quite bulky, this is Crow Tarot. It's big cards, thick cards. Some more cards for Aries, please. There it is. Ooh, 2 of Wands. Had a bit of a crossroads, Aries. That's cool. And the Page of Wands. Fantastic. Love to see that straight after the 2 of Wands. At the bottom of the deck, we've got the Queen of Pentacles. That's interesting. Really. I'll get to it, actually. So the deck that wanted to be used to clarify is the Said Tarot, which I've actually had for years and never used on YouTube till this point. I've actually barely used it myself, actually. But it made its presence known and it wanted to be used, so here we are. Right, why's the King of... We've got the King of Cups. The King of Cups is clarified by the King of Cups. Awesome. Why is the King of Cups here for Aries? And we've got the 7 of Pentacles. Interesting. So, why is the 2 of Wands here? We've got the 8 of Swords. Nice. Like that. Fuck. Why is the 2 of Wands here for Aries, please? That's the one. 3 of Coins, 3 of Pentacles. And finally, Page of Wands. Why is that here for Aries, please? Why is the Page of Wands here for Aries? We've got the 9 of Wands there. Oh, what are you? Oh, we've got the Ace of Cups. Love it. Right. At the bottom of the deck, we've got the Tower, followed by the Six of Coins. Interesting. This is a really interesting depiction of the Tower. Check this out. First thing I heard was Cosmic Egg. That's what it looks like. These two snakes twisted around each other at the bottom of this deck. And they're encircling the woman inside the mountain there. And it's almost like the Tower's kind of incidental to the imagery. I really like that. Right, Aries, let's stop fucking about here and get this reading done. The first card that you've got is the King of Cups. Now, strictly that's Scorpio, but it's an energetic thing for you, right? This is emotional mastery. It's being at the top of your game, and it's clarified by the King of Cups again, and the Seven of Pentacles. And the Seven of Pentacles, if we can just slide to that first, is a card for me of the status quo. More than that, it's a kind of... what's the best way to put it? A creeping sense of dissatisfaction with the status quo, right? Because it talks about having put a lot of time and effort into something, and then ultimately realizing that what is coming up and what is being created is actually not what you wanted. So you need to make the decision as to whether you continue to put time and effort into this thing, or whether you now cut your losses and run, right? It's a card that calls for a bit of judgment, actually. But being as we've got the King of Cups here twice, it feels like this is an emotional situation, right? Certainly something with an emotional component to it. And why are these King of Cups? Why are these King of Cups here? Why is the King of Cups here? I mean, what comes across really strongly is this feels like a dissatisfaction with a previous situation, because it is the recent past, right? Which you have got on top of, right? You've prioritized your own emotional well-being in this, and you intend to move forwards in that state, and then in that state only, like one that refers constantly to your own emotional state and not necessarily what anybody else thinks about the matter. Now, as an Aries, I would expect nothing less from you, frankly, but sometimes we can get lost in things, you know, and it feels like maybe at points you felt like you were lost in things, you know? Like the way out wasn't as clear as you would have liked. Oh, we've got two here. Oh, and we've got the Page of Cups, and we've got the Fool. Right, the Fool for me is your card. It's this card of Aries. This is like in your recent past, the circumstances that you found yourself in were in some ways disagreeable, and you decided that it was time to move on. But where there's a certain amount of action implied with the Fool, it's coming from an emotional place, right? It's coming from a really strong emotional place, the strongest possible emotional place. Maybe it's to do with a child, right? We've got this Page of Cups here. Or maybe this just speaks towards your wanting to move on in a different way, right? You've got to take it as it resonates to you. Now, in your current energy, you've got the Two of Wands. And I really like this because this is a crossroads, right? Just as you've decided that you're not happy with this situation here and you want to proceed, you know, on this stronger emotional basis, then you kind of hit this Two of Wands energy, this crossroads energy, because this is about the planning stage of whatever it is, and that's what you're in at the moment, right? It's kind of thinking things through and coming out to the, you know, the logical consequence of your actions, should you choose left or should you choose right, you know, kind of thing, and deciding what it is that works for you. And interestingly, I feel like this is with somebody else, right? I don't feel like this is just you, and that's interesting because Aries are, you know, quite strong. You move forwards on your own. You've got a lot of confidence in that, but there feels like it feels like maybe a negotiation. You know, maybe this is what's forming part of the planning stage for you at the moment, is negotiation with another person. But it's somebody that you're close to, right? Maybe your partner, you know, whatever. Because it's clarified by the Nine of Swords and the Three of Coins. Now, the Three of Coins is the Three of Pentacles, and it talks about cooperation and collaboration. The fact that it's come up with the Nine of Swords, I think I might have said it was the Eight of Swords before, but it's not, it's the Nine of Swords. It means it's something that you're finding quite difficult. Like maybe there's a bit of resistance to your idea, and you're actually, you know, rather than, and I do feel like rather than trying to bulldoze the issue, which sometimes Aries, you can do that, right? What's giving you a headache about this is that you are trying to find a way to compromise. Now, that's very mature. It's cool. I like that. But let's get some... I just noticed the towers at the bottom of the deck here. Why is the Nine of Swords here? Why is the Nine of Swords here? Right, okay. Maybe the resistance is because the person that you really want to have on board with this, and it is somebody that you're close to, right? It is somebody that you're close to. They're not on board with it at all. They're not happy about it, right? We've got Judgment and the Hanged Man come out here. Now, Judgment for me, what was the thing? I'm not even sure that has an association. Sometimes I say Scorpio, but I'm not really feeling it in here. And Pisces, right? But it talks about making a really strong judgment on something. And this is about changing your perspective, right? I feel like the reason that there's this tension here is because this other person is not on board with what you're wanting to do. In fact, they're like, you know, we've got a monk walling up a nun here, and that's really interesting imagery because those are two sets of people, nuns and monks, who essentially believe the same thing, right? But it seems like they've got a different way of doing it. Like that's what I'm seeing from that card there. And so what's causing you the headache at the moment is trying to work out how to change somebody else's judgment on this situation, right? Maybe you need them to be on board, or maybe you just want them to be on board, right? Either is possible. Then we've got this Three of Cups, Three of Coins, you know, this Three of Pentacles, really wanting to bring them on board with what you're doing, to collaborate, you know. What about the Three of Pentacles? Yeah, Three of Pentacles. It's too many cards. Behave. That's the one. Ooh. Huh. Now that's really interesting. I forgot that about this deck. So this is the Triple Goddess deck, and I've had this deck for an age. Really. I think it was maybe only about that, like the second or third deck that I ever bought. But if you've been with me for a long time, it's so funny. It's just down here. Like I had a bit of a turret mishap back in the North UK monsoon season. It's sort of October time, and my turret leaked, got all wet, and this deck of cards here copped it badly. Basically, I found it sat in a puddle of water, and I was absolutely devastated. I tried to dry it out, but it didn't really work. And recently, I bought it again. The thing that I forgot is that there are two different depictions of the Fool in this deck, right? And you can pick one and discard the other one. Well, I forgot that, and I left both Fool cards in. Obviously, the reason that I'm telling you that is because the Fool's come out again, right? You've got a double Fool from the same deck. But what's come up under the Three of Pentacles, the cooperation and the collaboration card, is this, the Chariot and the Fool, right? New project, new direction in some way that you need someone else to be on board with, right? That you are absolutely champing at the bit to get done. For whatever reason, this person is resistant to it, and now you're really, really struggling to find a way to change their mind about it, right? I feel like the reason this is here is because this is part of the process, right? This is about really, really knowing what you want and going for it, right? But the Fool card is about trusting that it will all work out, right? So what I just heard was like not being attached to the way the outcome appears, right? Because maybe your idea is right, and you've got you've got everything that you need to make it. You've got the self-belief. You've got everything that you need to do it. But maybe the way that you're going about it isn't right. Yeah. Maybe part of why this Hanged Man is here is because there's a bit of it the perspective that you need to shift as well, right? Now, what's coming towards you in June is the Page of Wands, and I really, really like this, although it does look like it's kind of screaming into the abyss a little bit, because the Page of Wands for me is a card of a new start, right? It's that same champing at the bit energy, right? It's wanting to broaden your horizons, yes, but it's like having a real excitement about what's coming, and that's cool because this feels like you're breaking a deadlock in June, right? Because otherwise it wouldn't be here, right? You can't be excited about something that you know absolutely is not going to happen. But the two cards that came out to clarify are the Nine of Wands and the Ace of Cups, right? Now, look at the imagery on that Nine of Wands. It feels to me like you are the lady in the blue dress, right? Standing over there going, I've got this wicked idea. Right? Come join me, right? But this is the person's resistance. They're kind of looking at the pit of fire and they're going, no, that's quite a silly idea for me to run over this bridge. But I think that the way that you see it is that whatever idea this is that you've had, like, this is the way out, this is the way forwards. And to leave yourself here would be to actually, some way down the line, have this bridge completely gone and then have this, kind of stuck right here, right? There's a path up here ahead of you, and I feel like you want to lead this person down this path. And we've got the Ace of Cups, right? And the Ace of Cups is about new love for someone or something, or yourself, possibly. But it feels like a breaking of a deadlock, right? It feels like heart winning through on this. Tell me about this Ace of Cups. Where's this Ace of Cups here? Knight of Pentacles. Tell me about this Ace of Cups. Yeah, okay, this is awesome. Right. We've got the Queen of Swords at the bottom of the deck, and I feel like possibly she's here because there's something about this situation that you haven't quite considered from the right angle. Right? The Queen of Swords deals only in facts and logic and, rational, reasonable things. Now, your energy is all... It's quite fiery, actually, but it's fire and water. Right? Wands and cups everywhere. Odd bit of pentacle, but not very much, right? And the Queen of Swords, perhaps this is the other person, kind of pointing this out. The Queen of Swords represents to me, I think, that point of compromise, right? The shifting of perspective from both of you, where facts and reason and logic kind of coincide, I guess. Because what we've got here is the Knight of Pentacles and the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups for me is a card of partnership, right? It's two people who are on the same page. I know most people interpret that as a romantic relationship. I very rarely do, right? Because to me, Two of Cups is talking about two people who have shared goals. They're kind of coming from the same place. They get together on the same page and then move forwards in that way. It's come out under the Ace of Cups, right? It's that kind of snapping point, right? Where this tension gives in some way, and small movements forward start to occur, right? I feel like the Tower is here because I think you didn't expect the resistance that you've met from this person that you wanted to be on board. Like, it's genuinely come as a bit of a shock to you. And so, coming from a place of, very strong emotional reaction, but also all of this fire, you're an Aries, you've had the idea, now you want to get off and make it fucking happen, right? It's kind of thrown you into disarray, like, well, what the fuck, right? The good news is, in June, this deadlock is broken, right? You're going to work through it in some way, and you're going to come out at the end on the same page. I really, really like that. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to go to the extended. So if you want to come over to Vimeo and join me there, that's all cool. If not, that's fine. And have a look for the shadow reading, because I'll be doing that soon. But otherwise, best of luck. You're all right. You got this. You're fine. Yeah, Aries. I'll see you soon.